Hey everybody, it's Jasmine and we are here with the season finale, the series finale of my Alter Ego 6-day series. I hope you guys all really enjoyed this series and thank you to everybody who has stayed tuned to every single day. If you are wondering about the giveaway, it will end tonight. So if you haven't entered yet, be sure to click the description box and fill out that little link that's in there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. A lot of you guys still tell me that you think that greens and blues are unwearable. You can't make it look as natural and as subdued as possible, which is totally fine. I get it. So I decided to take it a step back and do something that was a little bit more of like a pop of color, but still wearable. And a lot of you guys actually told me that you prefer a lot of shimmer, so I incorporated that as well. Now within the Goddess palette here, I want to run down the color scheme that I wanted to go for. Now as you see from far away, it looks like a lot of the shimmers are more of a golden undertone, but in fact there are a lot of shimmers in here that have a green flip, so they're more of a duochrome shade. These four shimmers in the palette here have the most dimension in them. So when you're in one lighting, it may look different than the other. So those type of shades are shades that I personally find more wearable and a little bit more of like a pop of color, if you will. So those type of shades are going to be your base shade, and I will show you guys how I use it. And then I also wanted to use the shimmery blue because that's our main color focus. We're gonna do some of that eye primer all over the eyes. As I've gone into the series, I think that the eye primer definitely grew on me. I feel like the shimmers actually adhere a lot better than if I hadn't used the primer in general. So if you are somebody who really enjoys shimmery eyeshadows and really needs it to stick on without falling off at the end of the day, then I think you'll really like this primer because it is sticky. Our main eyeshadow brush today is going to be a typical eyeshadow brush. We're not going to do anything super crazy. There's very minimal blending that is required in this look, so we are going to be focusing on packing on the shimmer shades just to really make it stand out and pop on its own. So here I am taking the shade Cassandra and I'm going to tap this all over my eyelid and all the way up towards the brow bone. Now this shade is a gold to green flip, so on my skin tone it looks very natural, and you can, you know, pick a different shimmer shade that goes better with your skin tone, but I find that anything with yellow or a little bit of olive in it looks a little bit more like a glow from within for me. I'm going to take the shade Pandora, and this is more of a lighter gold, and it still has that little bit of a yellow flip, and I'm going to take this all into the brow bone. And remember, we didn't blend that shimmer shade that we packed on our eyelid, so this is going to act as that blending agent. So far, it looks like a soft, subtle sheen, glow from within. We love it. And with that same pencil brush, I'm going to take that shade called Artemis, and that's going to be the shimmery teal. And I'm applying this right near my lash line. And I know I have pretty small eyes, so I'm going to, you know, bring it up just a little bit, but not too much. We're going to go back in with that flat shader brush and the shade Cassandra and go right on top of both Cassandra, our initial shade, as well as Artemis, and this is going to blend everything together with just this patting motion. The matte teal in this palette called Gaia is going to act as our eyeliner shade, our little smoked out eyeliner shade, and I'm just going to pack this all near my lash line. And this one doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to blend it out anyway, but I just want more pigment towards the lash line so that when I apply lashes it looks a little bit more natural as opposed to just a random slab of lash. Right on top of that matte teal, I'm going to take that shimmer shade Artemis on that small little pencil brush, and I'm just going to be tapping. There's no real blending here, it's all tapping motion, so if you have troubles blending, this is a pretty easy tutorial to follow because it's foolproof. You just need to know how to tap. To make this look more perfected, I'm going to take my concealer brush with whatever concealer is left on the brush, and I'm going to just create a line right under the shadow here, and this is just going to make it look a lot more sharp and clean. The lower lash line is going to be really simple. I'm taking the matte teal and I'm going to line this on my lower lash line as a base. I'm going to blend Artemis right on top of that matte color, just like we did on the top. And I'm going to bring this not too far down, but I'm going to do my best to blend it down. And with that shade Pandora, the one that we put into our brow bone, I'm going to take that underneath the eyes and really blend this out to make it look more shimmering and blinding. Whenever I work with dark teals, I always try my best to line a mint color or some other light blue into my waterline, and this is just to make the eyes pop and it doesn't look as dramatic or as closed offish. So I'm gonna take the LA Girl Shockwave eyeliner, and this one is in the shade Fresh. I'm going to do a quick coat of mascara on my top and bottom lashes with the Urban Decay Lash Freak Mascara. And then for lashes, we're using my favorite style, which is the Alter Ego Celeb. These ones are a must-buy. If you are thinking about buying any type of eyelash from their website, make sure it's Celeb. Make sure you have one Celeb in your shopping cart. That's all I have to say. So this is what the eyes look like completed. It was actually really simple, right? We didn't even really blend. And I feel like this is the perfect way to introduce a pop of color, especially one that you feel like doesn't necessarily look good on you. This is just an easy way to add definition to the eyes without being too heavy. I'm going in with my Laura Geller Gilded Honey, and I'm actually going to use this as a blush because it's a really nice dark golden shade, and I feel like it'll just complement this entire blue look beautifully because we have gold all over our eyelid. And then I'm also going to take this in my normal highlighting areas, just in the areas that really catch the light, because it is a dark gold, and sometimes when I'm in certain angles it can look a little dark on my skin, so I only want to take it in areas that will really reflect the color. Because this look is already super glowy, we're going to keep it that way with the lips. So today's combo is going to be the Colourpop Curvii lip liner as always, followed up with the Alter Ego matte liquid lipstick in the shade Intrigue, and this is a very warm nude. And then for the gloss, I'm going to go in with the new Shiseido Shimmer Gel Gloss in the shade number 3, and this is going to add that beautiful golden chocolatey shine. This lip combo, for some odd reason, looks a little bit more red. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to switch into a different lip combo, but this is what that looks like in case you are wondering. For my new lip combination, I started with the MAC Naturally Transformed, which is a beautiful, really light, warm nude, and I thought that that would help counterbalance the Alter Ego matte liquid lipstick in the shade Intrigue because this one was so bright and red. And then I topped it off with the Shiseido Shimmer Gel Gloss in the shade number 3. This lip combination is so much better than the last one. I'm really happy with how this looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and do something with my hair and we'll be done with the series. And just like that, everyone, we are completed with the series. Thank you all so much for watching. Now, I thought that I would take time at the end of the video to talk a little bit about Alter Ego and the items that I personally recommend and that I feel like is worth the money. Now, of course, I have things that I really do like, but I want to just really talk about my top recommendations. Now, the top 3 palettes that I highly recommend are the palettes that I used from day 1 until day 3, and that's going to be the Artemis palette. And this palette here I think really just embodies what I like in a palette when it comes to warm tones as well as blue and greens. I think the pigments of all the shades blend in beautifully with each other. I also love Aurora. I think that when I used it for the first time this week, I just was so amazed at myself for not digging into this palette sooner, because I truly feel like although this is a very warm tone palette, it shows up on my warm skin and it's not patchy. So I love it for that reason, and I feel like if you are somebody who struggles to find some really good yellows, this is a palette to look into at least. And then finally, I really love the Sahara palette because it's like my main nude palette. Like, I just think this is like like the perfect palette for me. It could be my travel palette from now on when I'm thinking of a nude travel palette. So this is something that I feel like I'll get a lot of use out of. I am the type of person to really prefer mattes over shimmers, and this has more of a matte ratio. I am going to be honest and tell you guys that there is no particular color in the liquid lipstick line that really screams my name. I do love the formula, and I have a whole video dedicated to me talking about their liquid lipsticks, so I'm not going to go too in depth. I just wanted to kind of wrap that up. For the lashes, I think the only style that I really love are the ones that I'm wearing today, which is Celeb. I have tried every single one of their lashes, and I have a whole video dedicated to that as well. But I think that from that video and from me repurchasing the lashes, I always fall back to Celeb. Celeb is just like my number one. The eye brushes are definitely a must buy, especially if you don't have some solid blending brushes in your collection. I have a ton of brushes in my collection, but even on days where I am not doing this series, I gravitate towards the brushes, and I really like it because you get really tiny brushes in this collection, and you also get brushes that are actually usable. I feel like there are so many eye brush sets where I don't use all of the brushes, but in this collection there hasn't been one brush that I just neglected. So I do use all 8 brushes that are in the collection, which is nice. And the last item I want to touch on is the eye base. Now it's really hard for me because I can't say that this is an absolute love, because as you guys know, I don't really believe in eye primers. However, I do have to say that if you are working with shimmers, this is a must because it really adheres it onto the eyes. You do get less fallout with this because of its sticky texture and because it just wants to grab that shimmer in place. So if you are somebody who really wants that out of an eye base without going as far as a glitter glue, then this is something really great and that I highly recommend. But if you're somebody like me who on a day-to-day basis wears concealer as eye base, I don't think that you would necessarily need this. So I'm kind of like 50-50. I really like it, but I don't think it's a holy grail, you know? And I know I haven't really promoted it in these videos, but if you guys do want to save some money on Alter Ego, then definitely use the code ThatsSoYin at checkout. It is an affiliate link, so I do get a small commission when you do use my code. It's always encouraged, never forced. By the way, I wanted to give a huge shout out to the earrings that I'm wearing as well. They are by the brand Idole Hour. I will have it in the description box below as always. But I just wanted to say thank you to Kevin, because her and I did a little Etsy trade for our little small businesses, and I wanted to say how much I love these earrings so much. So I'm really excited to, you know, support local businesses, Bay Area businesses. I hope you guys all really enjoy this series. Thank you all so much for staying tuned to each and every single day and sharing some of your love with me in the comment section below. I appreciate you all so much. And because I have been posting for 6 days straight, I am going to be skipping Monday's upload to just give myself a break, and I will be back next Wednesday. I love you all so much. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye! Peace out, Girl Scouts.